coming off a tough loss at Neshoba Central last Friday night. Tupelo is back at home this Friday night with West Point and Coach. Great history with that program, lots of state championships. But let's talk about us. Tough loss, 25-17, got down quick in the second quarter. The guys fought back, had the ball, chance to tie or take the lead, but just couldn't get that key first down.
Yeah, a lot of, we talked to our guys about it. We probably played as bad as, we could play. And I'm glad to get it out of the way the first game. We had a lot of things not go our way leading up to the game and during the game, and that's still not an excuse. That all falls back on me as a coach. But yeah, there's some positive and negative. Losing a football game, you never want to lose a football game. Was I very upset and dissatisfied? Yes, absolutely. But looking at halftime, I'm sitting there questioning myself, who am I right now? We're down 25-3, and I know our kids were probably questioning themselves and questioning what we've got going on, but they didn't give up.
Right.
They knew, we went into halftime, they knew. I said, guys, we're beating ourselves. We're stepping on our own toe every time. If you look back at it, there's so many times that we could have capitalized on things, missed a lot of opportunities, a lot. And hopefully those are learning moments.
Right.
And hopefully that carries over going forward. I told them we're never going to play like that again, so we'll see going forward.
I for years and years and years, back when I played, I heard coaches say, your biggest improvement from game 1 to 2. Is that true?
You would think so, especially in this scenario. We've got no excuse. We've got all our horses in the stable. All our guys back. We were kind of limited past few weeks with some of the guys that we had, and now we've got some guys back, and having a full week of practice, making those improvements, seeing who can and cannot do things,
right.
What we're good at, maybe find out a little bit about who we are more. I think I told you last week. We didn't know who we are. We didn't have a true identity yet, and we probably won't figure that out till later on in the season. Also, who we truly are. But this first week was good for us. This second week, we get to tell a lot about ourselves when it comes to overall how tough are our kids.
Right.
Because we're playing the cream of the crop.
Right.
Best school in Mississippi football history. One of the most physical, toughest schools in the state. I'm stoked just to see how our kids are going to respond and how they're going to show up to a team that what we tell them, that's the standard. Right. That's the best in the state, and that's going to be us soon. One day, that's going to be us, and how are we going to play against the standard?
So, film from this past game, how important is it now? You've got actual game film to look at. Is that as big of a learning moment as anything?
It is, because it's different when they're going against each other at practice film wise. When it's actual film against another opponent, and they're seeing, hey, this is what we talk about all the time in practice or on film of you not doing this and this what happens, and it showed.
Right. Film doesn't lie.
It doesn't lie. It never does. It's definitely the equalizer with everything. And we talked about how being tough, being physical, how the importance of tackling is. We did a terrible job tackling Friday night. It didn't help that we were facing the best running back in the state, but us having a lot of missed tackles, that hurt us. I think guys have taken more initiative of, hey, we got to have a sense of urgency. We got to be more physical. We got to want to tackle bodies more instead of just, leaning on folks at practice. So definitely the film would be the best thing for our guys.
The first quarter, your defense was just on the field. It felt like the whole first quarter. Offense, just couldn't find their rhythm. And then I thought the second quarter, the defense they looked gassed.
They did. The monkey jumped on their back. Started feeling sorry for themselves. We want to be a championship standard defense. That's what we want to be, and that wasn't a championship standard. You're gonna play in games like that. Right. You're gonna play in games where you're on the field a lot. Now, were we on the field 80-something% of the time? Yes, we were. And our offense is going to fix that.
Right.
They know. I expected that being first game. Not much chemistry. new offense, new offensive coach, new system, a lot of new bodies, period, that had never played in a game before, a high school game. And so you're going to have some mistakes. You're going to have some things that weren't going to go your way. We just didn't respond to some of those the right way.
And then you come out of halftime. Can you tell us, what do you tell your team when you're down like that? I mean, to get there, I mean, you got their attention, obviously.
Well, I mean, it was pretty simple. I mean, it's like I said earlier. It's like, guys, we were killing ourselves. You know, we haven't worked our tails off since June 1st just to come down here and go through the motions. I don't say we were just going through the motions. I think it was just the newness of everything, the whole leading up to it. Probably our minds weren't all totally in the right place. I'll probably be to blame to that. I'll take the blame on that all day. And I just told them, sat back and said, guys, we're going to treat this like it's a 0-0 ball game. I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the night. You win this second half. Okay, you win this next game. We just got off the bus. Okay, you see where our mistakes are. You know what you're doing wrong. What is the future of Tupelo football going to be? Because this second half is going to entail what the rest of the season might be.
Right.
And we just kind of challenged our guys. I didn't have to get into any tale. I think our guys were disappointed and upset. And I think because we've put them through it this summer, and I know some of them are probably having some what-if moments. I'm just glad they did respond. You know, I was questioning myself a little bit, like, hey, these people, these folks in the stand might run me out of town next week before it's all said and done. So, but yeah, I'm glad they responded the right way. I hate that we fell short, but we got something to capitalize and learn from.
Momentum is so huge, and we talked about it last week. We talked about it before the show. Come out, establish the momentum to start the second half, score. I mean, and then the defense. They picked, they got back to their first quarter form. Just things started going our way.
For sure. I like to call momentum Big Mo.
Yeah.
when Big Mo hits, I mean, it's hard to stop.
Right.
And once you get momentum, we capitalized on momentum in moments, and we didn't capitalize on momentum in moments. It happened to us in the first half where we didn't capitalize.
Right.
Second half, we did capitalize on momentum. And once you get going, our guys, they needed something positive at that time.
Right.
And I'm so proud of them, the fact that they took that positivity. One of our playmakers, Corbin Huggins, made a huge play on that first touchdown, and it just sparked our guys. And they all kind of came together, were positive about it, and that's all we needed. And
he really stepped up in the second half.
He did, and I'm super proud of him. He was a guy that we had out for 2 weeks because of quarantine, and for him to come in and play the way he did, he probably he could have had every excuse in the book not to perform well, but he made some good catches, dropped some big balls too, but he also, he made some plays for us, got us in the game. I don't know if you remember, he had a big kick return at one time in the middle of the game. We didn't capitalize on that drive, but, he made a big play there, but, we feel really good. That's obviously one of Jake's favorite guys to go to. It's pretty evident, and I don't blame him.
Well, quarterbacks like, I guess, that comfortness, and he found it with him, and it was working. You talked about he had some drop passes. Total, we had 11. And boy, as a quarterback, that can get under your skin, but I thought Jake handled that very well.
Yes, he and Jake could tell you he didn't play the best night that he could have played. He's definitely, he's a kid he's his hardest critic. And some kids like that, you really don't have to coach that. You still gonna coach them hard, but you don't have to coach them that hard because they know they're gonna fix it. Like we talked before we started, we had 11 drop passes. 5 of those drop passes were what we call explosive play, where it would have been 25 or more or touchdowns. And that was key right there. And that goes back to our youth and maturity. We're going to get those things fixed going forward. Once we do start connecting on those passes, it's going to be pretty special. But we'll get there. It's just, wasn't our night right there.
All right, well, enough on them. Now let's talk about big home opener with West Point. They're coming off a tough loss against Starkville. It's like the old days of South Panola. You don't have to say much to get your kids up for this. They know what West Point is.
They know. Like I said earlier, they are the standard. Guys, you are facing the best team that you'll probably face all year. even in 6A ball. And it is what it is. What you saw on we saw on film, from West Point, Starkville, why they're the number 1 and number 2 team in the state.
Right.
And West Point's going to come over here pretty unhappy. They don't lose many football games, and the fact that they're going to come over here, we're going to get their best shot. They're going to be mad, and we get to see what our kids, get how we're going to respond with an opponent that we know that's going to be prepared, because they want to come over here and get after us, and they don't want to slack up at all. And I'm excited for this moment, the fact that we get to play the best. And, I have to keep telling our kids what they are is what we're going to be.
Right.
We're not there right now. Everybody knows that. We're not there right now. But that is going to be us soon. Don't know how soon. But, yeah, I'm excited. They're physical. They are hungry. They are tough. I think they're just as good this year as they were last year. They're up front. They got a defense that flies to the ball, just like they usually do, and they got an offensive line that big and can move, athletic. So we'll see.
Have you gotten to the point where you have your 3 keys to the game for Tupelo?
Right. Our keys, team goal wise, is number 1. We want to be the most excited team. We want to be the most excited to play. Number 2, we want to win the turnover battle. Number 3, we want to win the explosive play battle. If we feel like we can do those 3 things, we can win the game. We have a goal each week for our offense, for our defense, for our special teams, and for our team. And this week's big thing, I had to add to this, play 4 quarters, because we didn't play 4 quarters last week. We play 4 quarters and do those things, we're going to be in any football game.
Right.
We're going to be. We can play with anybody if we play 4 quarters and we play good football. But yeah, we've got our goals on each side, and we want to win first down on defense, because they're going to want to run it right at you. We kind of want to get them off rhythm. On offense, we want to connect on some of those big plays. We've got guys that we can throw it to, and we want to connect with those, and we want to get some big plays there, and we want to protect the football and get them to turn the ball over.
It's always the key. We did not win the turnover.
We did not. We lost it 4-2. And so that was our big deal. We want to win the turnover battle, and we lost it 4-2 this past week, and still had a chance to win the football game. We win that turnover battle, it's a different story.
It is. And not only to get the turnovers, but to capitalize on the turnovers is just as key as well. So
Exactly.
Coach, last week you kind of took us behind the scenes at your house with your wife giving you socks. Do you have a pregame meal or anything that you?
No, just whatever school provides us or whatever the Booster Club provides us. I don't call any food. I promise you that. I'll eat anything, hey, I'm good on that food wise. Sometimes I can eat, sometimes I cannot eat before games. I'll get it really hit me on the way down there last week, because of that long drive. I really didn't feel it until that bus ride. It's like, man, we kind of get to figure out who we are today, and what's it going to be like? Who are we going to be? And so that was that, and we get to figure out really who we are this Friday.
Saturdays. What are Saturdays like?
Saturdays, well, this past Saturday, didn't go to bed till 5 in the morning, just because I stayed up here. Me and our offense coordinator, Coach Ward, stayed up here at about 4:30, breaking down the film. We probably watched it several times when we get laundry done. I can't sleep after football games. I'm too wound up. As you probably saw me on the sidelines, I act like I'm playing sometimes. Hopefully I'm the biggest cheerleader out there, and I'm very engaged into the game, probably too much sometimes, getting tapped into the game. So I'm like super wound up at the end of the games. I cannot sleep. The earliest I'll go to sleep is probably 3 or 4 in the morning after a football game. So Saturday, I sleep in, not enough probably, but I go right into watching our film again, breaking down our next opponent. And, got to have some family time right there. You got to have some balance. I do a terrible job sometimes disengaging. I tell my coaches all the time, I said, my biggest thing that y'all want to tell me to do is step back sometimes. And my wife and kids deserve, my time during that time frame. So I take, a little bit of the time. This past week we went and saw my family at Houston. We're going to go visit my mom for her birthday this Saturday sometime in the afternoon. I'll get back that that night and get back to work. And we know Sunday's a full work day for us.
Awesome. Well, good luck this week with West Point. If you cannot make it here at the game, be sure to catch it on Golden Wave Athletics. Jordan Graham and his crew did a phenomenal job at Neshoba Central. We had 3 cameras, and it's only going to get better. So join us hopefully at the stadium Friday night, 7 o'clock kickoff. I'm Greg Ellis, and for Ty Harden, this is Gridiron Takes.